welcome to At Risk International's Global Risk Intelligence Weekly Insight Briefing. My name is Roman Fisher, Protective Intel Analyst here at Risk International, and I'm joined today by Director of Intelligence, Ross Hill. Getting started for you today. Recent news articles have drawn attention to increasing violent crime rates in Washington, D.C. And although D.C. is not considered one of the nation's most dangerous cities, recent crime trends have resulted in the Mexican and Guatemalan consulates releasing statements warning their citizens living in the area to take precaution. According to FBI data, D.C. ranks 80th in the top 100 most dangerous cities in America. Violent crime there is up 37%. Vehicle theft is up 116%. Sexual abuse is up 34%. And homicides have increased by 18%. Overall, the national rate of violent crime is down 9% so far this year, at least according to the Council on Criminal Justice. However, many cities like D.C. are seeing a rise in their numbers. The cities experienced the most significant rise in violent crime are Mobile, Alabama, Memphis, Tennessee, Detroit, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Although the national rate of violent crime is down this year, murder rates increased dramatically between 2011 and 2021, jumping 46% in 10 years. From 2020 to 2021, murder rates increased nationally by 8%. Rape and aggravated assaults rose 12% and 22% respectively since 2011. Only robbery had declined in the past decade, down 51%. Most experts agree that identifying the causes for increasing violent crime is a highly complex problem. But there is some consensus that socioeconomic instability and gun violence are key points to understand. Most agree that the disruptions to community life during the pandemic is primarily responsible for the 2020-2021 jump in violent crime. Brennan Center for Justice suggests that reinvesting in communities and social services is critical for building safety in the long term. These reinvestments include social programs designed to reduce poverty and increase access to affordable health care. Primarily, treatments for mental health and substance abuse are proven ways to reduce crime. Now I pass it to Ross Hill. Ross.
Thanks, Roman. Next up, we're taking a look at the coup in Niger that happened on July the 28th. There's been a number of attempted or actual coups in the kind of Western Central African region over the past few years. Actually, we've seen about 13 attempts since 2020 in countries like Burkina Faso, Chad, Guinea, Mali, and others. The leaders of the coup in Niger said it took place because of the deterioration of the security situation in the country. That's mainly linked to jihadist violence there. The Economic Community of West African States has threatened to use force against the new military government if it doesn't cede power within about a week or so. And ECOWAS has also imposed economic sanctions against those involved. The EU, France, and the US have withdrawn aid from the country. Interestingly, Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin praised the coup and offered Wagner's services to the new government. Wagner obviously has a lot of interest in Africa and is looking to expand its influence there. And Prigozhin, in a message, said that his troops should prepare for a new adventure in Africa. Then we also had some pro-coup demonstrations in the capital, Niamey, where they burned French flags and chanted anti-French slogans, and also waved Russian flags and chanted pro-Russian slogans. So we actually need to watch for any kind of Wagner deployments to Niger in the coming days, especially ahead of that ECOWAS deadline, because it could potentially make any military deployment by ECOWAS in the country much more risky and much more difficult. ECOWAS actually last deployed in force, so to speak, in about 2017 in the Gambia, after the president there refused to step down following an election. That was actually successful, and there was a transition of power peacefully there in the end. Niger is important globally for resources. It produces 7% of the world's uranium, and so there is a lot of concern over some kind of pivot more towards Russia. But whatever way it goes, the situation is destabilizing for the region, and that's largely because of the ongoing terrorism risk in the Sahel region. That's it from us this week. We hope you found the information interesting and useful, and we hope to see you again soon.